Hello, everyone, and welcome to the HP Podcast, episode number 391. I'm Ben, and with me here today are one really smart guy and one complete and total idiot. We were just having a debate before the show,
Unbelievable.
and
Do
one
not
of them
talk
has
about Dave like that.
one of them has proved themselves to be a complete and utter idiot moron.
I was gonna say coming to you tonight with 30% more chud. I was gonna be joking, but I mean it for real because
Yeah.
Brandon was talking some nonsense before we went live.
Only
was-
30% is pretty generous.
I was brave enough to say the things that people think.
No.
I was brave enough to say it, and you're chastising me for my based takes. I don't know what I don't know what you want me to say.
Welcome back, Brandon. Good to see
Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for having me. I feel welcomed. I feel like I belong in this space with you, gentlemen, right now. And
I
that
actually kind of wish you would leave now after the idiocy I just heard out of your mouth. We'll get into that later.
well, yeah.
What's going on, boys? How's your week been? Brandon, how's your life been? We haven't
It's
seen you in I've seen you. Dave's seen you a little bit, but you haven't been on the show in like 6 or 8 months now. It's not literally been that long, but
full-term absence.
So it's like a month time frame in between when I'm able to be on the show and when I'm not. Literally almost exactly a month every time, and then I could be on for like 2 weeks. So I think I could be on next week too, if I'm thinking about that correctly. But I've been good mostly, aside from the schedule that I don't like. That's kind of taken up most of my fumes. Working overnight, some people can do it, and I don't mean like 3 to 11, I mean literally 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. Like I'm working the entire night. So yeah, that's been a bit of an adjustment. You'd think I would be more adjusted to it than I am after about 3 months of doing it. But apparently a quarter of a year isn't quite enough. I just don't think my body is built for it. Having a social life ends up being very difficult when I can, because then you have to flip-flop your what's the circadian rhythm of your entire body over and over again every couple days. It's trying, to say the least. But aside from that, I've been great. I've been really good. Got my girlfriend moved in, so I'm living with 3 kitties now, which is fantastic. I love having her here. Feels like a home. Love the kitties being here.
I see you got some plants behind you now. They weren't behind you there before.
Last show they were. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, last show that was like a week before I moved her in. That was like the beginning of August. These have to be
you
here.
put them there because of the cats.
Yeah. They're just not allowed in the office right now because the list of plants that are not toxic to cats is significantly shorter. And I'm talking about like on the PCA website, there's like 1 page. And for the stuff that is toxic, there's like 20 pages. So, yeah. I currently have 1 plant that's out and about. It's a spider plant, supposedly mildly hallucinogenic, kind of like catnip for them, but not toxic whatsoever. So, and they try to get to it already. So I was crossing my fingers that they would be the kind of cats that would just leave them be. Because some people, I've watched a bunch of videos of people with plants and cats, and they're like, some cats don't even care. But I didn't get so lucky. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with these, but we'll see.
Most importantly, though, Brandon, where is the video game decor that used to be back there? There was the anvil that Ben 3D printed for
We're
you.
going to get to that in a minute.
The
that
ghost.
broke.
Oh yeah, that's right. There was the ghost. There was the Doom statue. There was some.
It's
Where is it?
I'm looking at it right now. It's all sitting on the floor. Yeah.
Okay.
They're just simply like, there's actually more plants than this. Like some of them couldn't even fit on the table. So, this is absolutely a temporary fix. That's been a temporary fix for going on a month now. So I need to shit or get off the pot with these. I mean, they seem to be doing fine, most of them. So I guess that's another factor that's making me not want to change it, because I was expecting a lot of them to just perish, with the different change in sunlight, because this window that they're getting sun from is not like direct sunlight at any point during the day. And the other 2 windows that I had all of these plants in were either direct sunlight in the morning or in the evening, based on the way my house is faced. So, but they seem to be doing okay, believe it or not. So yeah, I got to get that figured out. Thought about making like a mini greenhouse inside my house, but that's way more involved than I thought it was going to be. So I got to figure out what the fuck I'm doing with it. But honestly, I'm fine with the plants being in here for now because I like it a lot better. You know, having having the setup I have now with the cats and the family. I'll worry about the plants when I worry about it. So
Now, Brandon, probably in like I think early February, you told me that you broke the anvil that I 3D printed, I glued together, I sanded for hours, I painted for hours, probably like 40 hours of work. And you said I just got to glue some stuff back together. Brandon, have you done that?
I still don't. I have not purchased super glue since then.
So what you're saying is no.
That is correct.
So do you feel any sort of obligation to just let me have that back now?
No, because I want it. No, here, hold up. I'm literally on Amazon.com right now. Super glue. Super glue.
I don't think we have that anymore, Dave. We let it go for too long without referring people to it.
Gorilla Glue. This should work. Add to cart. Okay, bear with me. Proceed to checkout. Place order. Actually, you know what? I'm glad you actually mentioned that because I had this coming to my door. It'll actually be here in 2 days. So,
oh, okay.
I'm glad that you. I'm glad that you.
It's funny because I've told my kids before, like, if you give someone a gift, you can't decide what they do with it. It's a gift. Like, if they want to throw it in the garbage, it's a gift. But then sometimes when people give them gifts and then they like treat it poorly, like for instance, people give them Pokemon cards for like birthday and Christmas or whatever, and they'll open them up. And when I was a kid, we treasured every Pokemon card. We played with them. We looked at them. We knew all their stats and stuff. The kids today, and I know I sound old, are just like, and maybe adults too, they just open the pack. They do the little pack trick. They only care about the card in the back because that's the one that's the hit potentially. And then the rest of them are just garbage. They're fodder. And maybe they always were, but at least like it was new and original to us. And so I can't stand when they like don't treat any of their cards or anything like that. They had some cards laying on their floor, and I was like, guys, those were gifts. You're just trampling over gifts people gave you. And they were like, well, you said whenever people give you gifts, you can do whatever you want with them. And I was like, well, then I'm going to stop telling them to get you those as gifts because you just treat them like crap. Like, and not just those. It's not just Pokemon cards. It's everything. But
fair enough. Yeah. Well, you know, I'd never.
My
do
point
that,
there
luckily.
is. My point there is, I gave you that. If you wanted to throw it away, you could have done that. But it's more disrespectful that you didn't throw it away and that you just let it break and not repair it. That's the disrespectful part.
Bro, I didn't have super glue. What did you want me to do? Put it together with bubble gum?
Well, maybe just buy super glue. That's all.
Yeah, that's what I told you. You'll be here in 2 days. I already.
Dave, how we doing? How's life? This is an exciting week for you with Aliens Fireteam Elite coming out yesterday.
Oh yeah.
We've been talking about it for months.
Yeah, it came out. I'm going to talk about it at the end of the show. It's all good stuff. Yeah, we're getting into a pretty exciting time of the year. Lots of. It used to be like all the good stuff came out in the fall. Now I feel like it's much more spread out, but I still feel like there's just something right about playing Call of Duty in October and November. And then we've got Grand Theft Auto this year and some other cool stuff. So this is officially the start of the busy fall fuck your wallet season.
Yes, big time.
Good time. Good time to be a gamer. We're eating well, fellas.
Dave, how's baseball going for you?
Like my playing baseball?
Yeah, you're playing baseball. Yeah.
Yeah. Is
it baseball or is it softball or what is it?
Softball.
It's softball. Okay.
Big ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's co-ed. It's making friends in my town that I've only lived in for like 3 years. So, yeah, I'm not awful, which is good. I the last thing I want to do is feel like a liability.
Are you still sore after every game or practice?
No, I've figured that out. Couple good stretches. I'm one of the old guys now. I was asking one of the more experienced players who I thought was like a little bit younger than me. I'm like, hey man, is there any stretches that you do like to kind of help like with your base running and stuff? And he's like, no, not really. And he's like, but I'm a lot younger than you. And I'm like, fuck you, man. How old do you think I am? But I think he actually thinks I'm one of the old guys. So I have to
but was he right? Is he like early 20s and you technically are a lot older than him?
I really don't know. I kind of thought, it was in that fuzzy area. Like once you get past 22, like from 22 to 40, you're all kind of in the same age, but clearly
No,
the
that's not
people
true.
in their 20s do not think that
No,
way.
no.
But no, I got to show up like 45 minutes early and stretch for that whole time, which is fine. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's almost over for the season, and I'm gonna miss it. But I'll play again next year, I'm sure.
Very nice. I've had a pretty interesting week. I finally got my boiler replaced that went out like 6 weeks ago. I talked about it. Last weekend, I think it was the farm show here in Butler, the famous grounds of where Donald Trump was shot at, or shot, I guess technically. That didn't happen while we were there, but the farm show is this thing that happens once a year, and of course there's like all the people take animals there to show them off, and tractors, and of course there's like carnival rides and everything. I really kind of hate it, but my in-laws like going, and so they always ask us to go with them one day of the year, one day of the week that it's going on. And so I did, and while I was there, I met up with some my son made a friend, and their family was there, and I become kind of friendly with the dad. I'd say we're friends. We've played like really nerded out over like Magic the Gathering and stuff like that a couple times, and played together a little bit. But anyway, we didn't really even know they were going to be there. It just kind of happened. And so they like kind of hung out with us for the day too, and it was a lot of fun. But at the end, they were looking at this one booth, and my friend walks up to me and he says, "Hey, we've been friends for a while now. I think it's time I get you a gift." And I'm like, "Oh, what? Okay, you don't need to get me anything. Like, that's fine." And he hands me this.
The fuck is that?
For anyone who can't see, this is
Is your friend's name Hideo by any chance?
this is a squishy baby, and it's like a clear thing, and it's like really squishy, like it's like a Stretch Armstrong almost. And he starts telling me about the squishy baby. And apparently there's like the thing right now with everybody, like kids, like my kids' age, is squishy toys. Like there's those little I can't remember what they're called. They're like a pastry that you eat. I can't remember what they are, but they're
It's like the bao buns that come in that little circle.
right. Yeah, so those are really popular, and lots of things are popular. Apparently there's different like types of squishies. There's like very squishy, more firm. There's squishies with like rocks in it, like essentially rocks in it that make them like crunchy. And it's like a whole ecosystem. This is the first time I've truly ever felt out of touch entirely and not known about it.
Yeah.
But he hands me this, and I'm like, dude, this is a weird thing to hand someone and try to explain what it is. And he's like older than me. He's like a few years older than me, and his kids are his one kid is about the same age as my kids, and I don't really like it. Like I kind of dislike it. But here's the thing. It sits at my desk, and when I sit here, and especially like on the podcast, I'm just sitting here like mashing this squishy baby. And so there is something to it. There is something to it. Like I don't like the way it looks. I don't like that it's a little baby. I think that's weird. Just
I think you got invited to something unholy, Ben. I think this might be I don't know.
You've been marked for something.
But there's something about it that makes me want to squeeze it, you know?
Were there other squishies? Like did he select the baby, or was
Yeah.
there only baby squishies?
He selected the baby. Apparently he has a baby that's blue.
Okay.
And
Are
but
you
there
still
were
friends with this guy?
Yeah, he's a nice guy. I like him a lot.
Is that like an ultra rare?
Apparently that is a thing too. Not with the babies,
It's a
but with other
one-of-one squishy
squishies.
baby.
But there were like all sorts of like Pokemon squishies, and all the like you can get a Pikachu. You're like, I want a Pikachu squishy. And they're like, well, you can either get a regular squishy, you can get a crunchy squishy, you can get a sticky squish. And I'm like, why? So apparently there's probably a rare one of those too. I don't know.
I think that autism has changed America.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But what's it say about me that I like squeezing this squishy baby? It kind of I was like, oh, it kind of feel. Do you remember Stretch Armstrong? It kind of resembles a Stretch Armstrong, but it's not quite that stretchy. But it's like that same material, kind of. This one is. So just in case for the audio listeners, sorry about this, but for the video, I just want you to get one more clear view of the squishy baby. I don't
really care for that.
It's definitely freaky. Actually, we haven't he did text me the other day, but we haven't seen each other since then. And there's a little part of me that's a little nervous about the next time we see each other. Like, what is he going to try to squeeze me?
Did you? I mean, you have to bring him a baby. I think is that
He already
how that works?
No, he already has a squishy baby.
Well, but it's not from you.
No.
Yeah, and so I think that like I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the custom is. Is this white culture?
In fairness, so our area, Brandon, as you know, and Dave, you've been here, is not very diverse. It's getting more and more diverse, and more and more different cultures and races moving into the area. But while I was there at the Butler Farm Show, the most hick place you can possibly be, in that line for all sorts of like trendy, it was like the only like trendy kind of place. There were all sorts of people in line. It was the longest line of the entire farm show. And I saw multiple different backgrounds there, different
The
cultural
squishy baby line had
and
lots
racial
of...
differences. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. So I don't think it's just white culture. Maybe it's been
yeah.
influenced by the whites. We do tend to do things like that.
No, this sounds like some Japanese stuff.
Honestly, it could be. I don't know.
Surely it's not the babies that bring us all together as a people, the squishy babies. But I guess, hey, look, you never know.
Here's the best part about this stupid little baby. It's got like a couple air bubbles in it, and the air bubbles right now, because I had it like sitting on my desk here, I just threw it down and it was sitting here. All the air bubbles kind of went up into its head, and they're in the back of its head. So if you squeeze the back of the baby's head, it's just like a real baby.
Mm.
Did you know that, Brandon? That babies' heads are soft. It's really weird.
Yeah, dude, I want to put a flashlight on it, light up like a light bulb.
If you push really hard, their eyes start twitching.
Oh shit!
So anyway, this is a gift a friend gave me, that I have not destroyed and neglected. Just in case anybody was curious about how it works when you get a gift from a friend. You don't
Well,
destroy it and neglect it.
That was a journey.
This is the HP podcast. We talk about video games and squishy babies from time to time. I hope we never talk about squishy babies again, actually.
Yeah.
This is episode number 391. If you're here with us tonight, we are live. We're a little later than normal. Brandon and I went to get some great wings here locally with some other buddies, and Dave was kind enough to push the show back for us a little bit. And of course, the audience. You know, well, some of you are here. A lot of you listen on audio another day later, so it doesn't really matter to you, right? So you're welcome. If you want to hang out with us more, you can go over to Discord and hang out with us there for free. handsomephantom.com/Discord. It'll take you there. And if you'd like to help support us financially, you can do so for as little as $1 a month, which we really appreciate. It helps us keep the website up and all that kind of stuff. You can go to patreon.com/handsomephantom. It's like $0.25 an episode. Ad-free early access for audio feeds as well. Chat. Christian Lazy Wizard says, Brandon, this is possibly the hairiest you've ever been.
Yeah, I think my hair is reached a point to where it's longer than it's ever been. Not by much. I had my hair pretty close to this length in a different style, but in high school. So I think we have reached peak hair, so to speak. But I'm digging it, man. When it gets really humid, it's kind of annoying, but yeah, I'm happy to have it. I'm happy it's healthy. It hasn't been that bad so far, taking care of it. I've started to use conditioner so my hair doesn't get tangled. I don't really care much for that side of it, but
I just up on the screen here, I have a picture of you with a little longer hair in high school.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm sure you guys can't see it, but the YouTube.
This is at the lunch table in high school.
Yeah, they'll be able to see it. It's not quite as long as it is. Maybe it's about as long as it is now. But when technically, Christian didn't say the longest your hair's ever been. He said the hairiest you've ever been. And technically, you do have more hair because you have more facial hair now.
I do. I do have more facial hair and more chest hair, and back hair. But,
have you started getting the neck hair real bad yet?
Some. I'm pleased with my hair proportions. And then you'll get hair like in a weird spot, like hair like growing not in your ear, but like on your earlobe. Just get like one wispy or something every once in a while. It just doesn't make any sense. Why does there
Ye-
got to be hair on the shaft too?
I don't
Uh,
have that. Mine's
yeah,
too small.
you've mentioned that multiple times, and that's not a phenomenon I can totally sympathize with.
It's
The way
just-
you talk about it makes it sound like
there
like the
is
whole
no
thing's got
use
hair
for
on
it. There's no use for it.
Is
sure.
there use at the base though?
What's that?
Like the normal where your muff normally grows. Like, is there a use for that?
Yeah, but why does it have to trail up the shaft?
Good question. I don't know the answer, Brandon. Sorry. to
You
say.
know, and there's
Have
not
you
even that
tried
much room
Googling
for
it?
hair to grow up it. You know what I mean? It's just like
The hair gets real long. But... Greek says nothing makes you feel older than thinking someone's like 3 years younger than you, and they end up being 10 years younger. Yeah, Greek, that is a phenomenon I'm familiar with, but you should probably double check that when dating, just to be clear. Anyway, Greek also says, "Hell yeah, stress baby, channeling your inner Lindsay Clancy. Isn't that the lady who killed her kids?" Oh, I get it now. I get it. The squeezing the baby. Okay, I don't really want to
oh
talk
yeah,
about
that's
that
very
anymore.
topical. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very topical.
Yeah,
Demonetize.
Yeah. I know
I'm
I can just say cunt as many times as I want. It doesn't matter.
I'm like relatively certain that there are entire YouTube channels that cover all that stuff. So
Yeah.
Christian says ear hair and shaft hair, top 2 worst hairs.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you. Somebody finally that sympathizes with me.
My daughter plays with my ear hair in public. When I'm holding her, it's really annoying.
That was a
Wow.
close call. It could have been one thing.
Bringing light to my ear hair. I didn't even know. Like, it's there, and I'm holding her, and she's just like pulling at my.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
not cool.
Is it like hair coming out of your ear or growing on your ear?
Like both.
I have a little bit of hair that grows on my ear. I haven't had the growing from inside
Yeah,
my
I've
ear.
got it. It's bad. I
Really?
gotta cut it a lot.
I trim up my nose hairs get really long. I trim them up like almost every day, so that I'm not embarrassed by hairs coming down my nose. But that's the bothersome one for me. I don't have the inner ear hair. Sorry. Maybe we are Unk. We are Unk.
Patreon 100 tier exclusive is Dave's a close up macro photo of Dave's ear hair.
500 level. You
Oh,
actually get some
okay, I'm
shaft
sorry.
hair from
I'm
Brandon.
sorry. Yeah, the 100 is like tastefully blurred. You just got to kind of imagine it. It's Japanese style. But then yeah.
500. We actually send you some shaft hair. 2-day free shipping.
Oh my god.
I don't think
With
Patreon
super
allows
glue.
that in the terms of service.
That's on the Handsome Phantom OnlyFans actually. Sorry.
Oh.
We're getting our wires crossed here.
Greek Thunder sent through. I don't know why the alert didn't pop up. There should have been an alert with a sound or something. I don't know. Sent through 440 joules, which I think is like the equivalent of 440 bits on Twitch. I'm not 100% certain. So it's like $4.50. Appreciate it, Greek. And
Thank you,
said
Greek.
Unk Alert.
Thank you for the biddies.
Unk Alert. You guys want to talk about some video games?
Yeah.
Oh, he says, I don't know what that even is. It was something I had sitting there. So I was streaming the other night and I had multiple people just give me these jewels and they were like, they just appeared on my screen and I was able to send them to you. But I got money for them when I was streaming. So I'll take it. If you have jewels on your YouTube account just sitting there and you're watching right now, hey, send them on over to us. We'll take care of them. For you.
Send them to Unks.
Send them to the Unks.
The Unks in need.
Opening night live. Guys, I was in opening night live.
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw that.
In one of
Literally
the-
was.
In one of the Gamescom trailers that they play at Gamescom for the Gamescom audience, maybe it's to try to get more people to come because opening night live is such a big show. In one of them, it showed my booth that I was at last year, and you could just see me from like the neck up, but I could tell it was me, mostly because I saw the background of my booth, and I was like, "Am I in that shot? I am in that shot." There's my fat head there. So
I think they call it a sizzle reel.
it was a sizzle reel. Yes,
Mhm.
it was a commercial. Guys, let's talk about Gamescom, the opening night live events. let's give high level thoughts. Brandon, I know you didn't get a chance to fully watch the whole thing, but you've seen some of what was announced. Dave, we'll start with you. What do you think overall this year?
So traditionally, I've kind of thought of like I grew up on E3s, and that was kind of like the Super Bowl of video game reveals and announcements and stuff. And then, I think lately it's kind of been for me. I feel the most fulfilled from like the Game Awards because I think like all the reveals plus like it being the end of the year and the awards, I think that's kind of top tier for me. And then I would obviously put Summer Games Fest below that. And then, the directs you get throughout the year. And opening night live, like Gamescom in general, has always been sort of like back of my mind with TGS for a long time. But the last couple of years, I feel like opening night live and Gamescom in general has really kind of kicked it up a notch. And I think the show that they put on yesterday was just more evidence of that. Like it feels like it's up there with Summer Games Fest. And I don't think we're getting as many like reveals or premieres, but like the stuff we are getting is really good. And I guess it's slowly morphing into more of part of the Jeff Keighley brand, which I think overall is really good. And I'm happy to see that, at least in my eyes, it's really becoming kind of a marquee event in the industry. Because I don't know if traditionally Gamescom was like the big thing. I think a lot of publishers and developers would kind of save everything for E3 or some of the other shows, but I think maybe with E3 gone now, like Gamescom has become something bigger. So I thought it was a really good show. And I'm looking forward to Gamescom every year now. And Brent, I mean, you went last year and you've spoken really highly of it as a show. So
to be clear, I've never been to the actual
ONL.
To ONL. I've
Yeah.
been at the show itself.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a
Working it,
product of the show, right? So
yeah.
But I thought it was an excellent show. And again, considering like not reveal heavy, but and it was headlined by a really old game that is getting a new lease on life, which we knew about. Did not get Highguard 2, which a lot of people in chats and streams were looking for, but I was
We might have gotten
surprised.
Highguard too. Maybe not by that name, but there's some Highguard 2s in there.
Yeah, but it wasn't at the end.
Some Concord 4s or whatever.
Yeah.
Brandon, what do you think of what you've seen of Gamescom?
Yeah, I mean, Keighley continues to.
I'm sorry. I just saw the
What?
picture of Brandon.
Is this still up on YouTube?
No. Greek just put it in our Discord. I couldn't see
okay.
it, but
Do you like
should
it?
just put it up for the whole show. I'm
You like
sorry,
it?
Brandon. Carry
No,
on.
you're good. It's not too bad, right? Oh my God, it is in the Discord. That was good. Keighley puts on a good show. For all the shit he ends up getting, he does a really good job with the production and all these shows. And I think that it's hard for me because there have been shows before that have stood out so strongly in my memory, but a lot of what the shows are anymore as a whole throughout the entire year are like a big mixed bag. And I think that's actually a good thing. Is that there's a lot of stuff that doesn't necessarily directly interest me, but I think it's good for getting as many people in to watch the shows as possible when you have such a wide variety of different showings in one sitting. So yeah, I mean, some huge games nonetheless, even if it was things that didn't quite speak to me out of the gate. There's some stuff that piqued my interest, but I guess didn't blow my socks off, but that's not because it was bad or that the showings weren't good. It's just I don't think there is a perfect show for me anymore. I just think I'm tapped in enough that you kind of have an idea of what's coming sometimes, and nothing can truly mesmerize you. Those big, rare, monumental moments don't really happen as much anymore, and it kind of makes you think less of something that isn't actually less. So yeah, I think it was a good showing. Like I said, not super hyped about everything that was there, but I'm really glad that it's becoming such a staple in the industry and that it continues to get better and better year after year, even in spite of all of its at times valid criticisms from the internet folks. So
yeah, Brandon, I'm with you there. I think that it was a good show as far as these shows go. There wasn't a lot there that appealed to me, which is okay because there is a lot of stuff out there that does appeal to me. And many of the things that appeal to me are like coming out very quickly. We already know about them. They weren't new announcements.
Right.
So there were quite a few things that I saw that I was like, well, I kind of want to close my eyes for this trailer because I'm going to play it in 2 weeks or something like that. So I thought it was a fine show overall. It was kind of lackluster for me. If you talk about the quality of the announcements, I'm sure they were all great. They just weren't things I personally cared about. I did notice it seemed to be an inordinate amount of trailers from NC, which I assume is NC Soft. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, a lot of them from them. And then what's the other? There's a couple Chinese companies that are.
Was Hoyoverse? Do they have a couple?
They had one or two. I'm thinking of Nexon. Is that one? I can't remember the name of them. That's the problem. Is there's so many that are all over the place.
Yeah, I feel like Hoyo is always cooking up something. Like I feel like they're spinning stuff off like crazy with the success they've had with all of their games. Well, a majority of their games.
They've had such crazy success too that they have the funding to be able to throw as many of these as they want to.
Exactly.
In there. Trying to figure out the name of this game. The name of these. Okay, this one was NC, which I believe used to be known as NC Soft. I could be wrong about that, but that's, like I said, either way, there was a lot of them there. And then the other one is, man, I can't remember. It's a publisher that. Oh no, I'll figure it out. Nexon? Is it Nexon? You guys are no help whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dave, tell me something that piqued your interest.
We're just gonna do a roundtable for this.
It's fine with me. I don't really care what we do.
We're gonna do that. I just decided. So the first one I want to talk about is No Law.
Ooh, yes.
This is not new. We've seen No Law before. I'm interested in this game because it's from Neon Giant. This is the same studio that did The Ascent, which is one of my favorite games of all time. Recently platinumed that for the first time earlier this year. And this game is very much in the same style of The Ascent. Like you can tell like from the first 10 seconds of like the first reveal trailer that like this is that studio. And I gotta be honest, the more I've seen of this game, the more I'm getting lukewarm on it. I'm gonna play it because I really like the studio and I think they do good work and they have like a personality and a vibe. But I just I don't know. It looks to be more stealthy and like I like Deus Ex, but like I don't want that out of this style of game. And I don't know. I just the more I see of it, the more I'm like, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna try to enjoy it, but I have a feeling this isn't gonna be a game for me. But the thing that bothers me the most is that one of the strongest parts of, and I'm gonna bring this up every time we talk about No Law, one of the strongest parts of The Ascent was the soundtrack. It was absolutely incredible. But for some reason, in a game that's still in like a cyberpunk themed world, they decided to go with Jesper Kyd for the soundtrack, which I get he's a big name, but like I'm hearing like some of the music that's coming through in the trailers and I'm like, this is so far below the quality that we got in The Ascent. And I can't remember the composer from The Ascent. I'll find it, but I don't know. Music isn't normally like a deal breaker for me, but it's really bugging me that they changed up the composer for this game. But yeah, we saw more No Law, and again, I'm glad that Neon Giant is still cooking. I'm starting to temper my expectations a little bit with this game. So yeah.
Crafton. They had a couple. That's what I was thinking of.
Crafton.
Yeah. Sorry. No Law. I thought this game looked interesting, and I immediately thought of Dave whenever I realized it was from the people who made The Ascent. Yeah, it was one of the few things at the show that I thought looked like something different. I mean, obviously we've seen cyberpunk style things before. We've seen games in this genre essentially, but it seemed like it was trying to do something new and not just cash in on a trend for sure.
Yeah,
Right.
Pavel Blazek is the composer from The Ascent.
Okay.
And please listen if you like cyberpunk music. Go listen to that soundtrack, the Ascent soundtrack on Spotify. It's incredible.
Dave, I don't know if I told you this. I played when it first came out. I played a little bit, not very much. I played probably 4 or 5 hours of The Ascent within the last month.
Oh, nice.
And then I moved on. I think Mortal Shell 2 came out and I was like moving on.
Love The Ascent.
I always say you only need about 6 minutes to tell if a game's good or not. That's what I say.
Yeah, I've heard that about you. I think I disagree a little bit with that, but
More to come on that later.
more to
It's
come on
Star
that
Wars
later.
all over again.
I'm hyped about the new Metro, man. We were just talking about this the other night. Related, unrelated. It's also, the European feels. I downloaded Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. And not that it's the same or the same team, but it has that same vibe. I played Metro Exodus and thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'm really excited to kind of get back into the Metro series. Exodus was the first one of the series, the long lineage that I have played. And yeah, I love how they handle the dark, grungy European paranormal / weird oddity type apocalyptic stuff. It certainly wouldn't be the first time that we have something that's like this. But I think they do it really well. And I think the very clear European feels of it are done in such a way that a lot of games don't really capture that so well, being from the West here. So yeah, I love the way they do it, and I'm super, super hyped for the next one because Exodus was a surprise hit for me. Not that I thought it was going to be bad, but I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
Very cool. I thought that to do what?
Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool. That was like the most canned response. You're like an AI. And if there's something else I can help you with, let me know. Yeah, I'm thinking about going to dinner. Any cool places? You tell me the vibes and the time you want to be there, and I'll set you up right away.
Well, AI cares about that game as little as I do. So,
You should play Exodus, dude. It's good.
I played Exodus before. Back when it first came out, I captured footage for Dustin's review.
It's good shit. Anyway.
Lego Skylines. I really like the City Skylines. The first game, I played a little bit of the second one, but it was in a bad state, and I refunded it. But the first City Skylines game was awesome. I played a good bit of it on PS4, and then I also played it even way, way, way more on PC, and that's where I think the game is really meant to be. Lego Skylines is obviously a Skylines game. It looks like it's the Skylines 2 designers from what I've seen in a couple different sources. So I'm a little worried about that. But I know that Lego has like a really, really strict QA approval process for any games that their license goes out to. You've never seen a bad Lego game out there, right? I'm sure that this game is going to have the same kind of care from the Lego team, if nothing else. So I don't know. I mean, it's a city builder, which is cool. It's going to have probably some of the same mechanics that the Skylines games have had in the past. And it's Lego, which just means it's going to be awesome, in my opinion. So that's the first one that I noticed that I really kind of latched onto. Dave, you're up.
I'm gonna break my rule and I'm gonna hype up a game for myself. Anyways, that didn't have a gameplay trailer, but
Okay.
only a pre-rendered thing, and that's 1001 Threads of Mizan.
Okay.
This is the 1 to 3 player co-op adventure game that was announced based on the 1001 Nights, the Arabian Tale. I thought that was a really cool sort of narrative piece to base a video game on, and they had like flying carpets and they were fighting giant like Jin mech robots, and yeah, I mean it was like a pre-rendered trailer from a studio I haven't really heard of, NBC Entertainment. So I don't know what this is actually going to be. On one hand, it was kind of giving me oh my god, what is that EA COD magic shooter game that I referenced like 2 weeks ago?
Immortals of Avium.
Immortals of Avian. It kind of gave me like soulless Immortals of Avian game made in a boardroom vibes, but at the same time, I'm like,
It's funny because that's the criticism against that game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is I'm like, I don't know this. I don't know if I should trust this game, but I think I'm gonna keep an eye on it because that trailer was really cool, and some of the stuff I've read on it is intriguing. So 1001 Threads of Mazan, again, that was a reveal. That was a new one. That's one I'll be keeping an eye on personally. And 1 to 3 player co-op is always good. So
Very cool, Dave. We're all excited too. Brandon, what?
Did you want just the highlights, or do you want me to get a little bit more specific? I am excited about the Witcher news. I do think it's a bit odd to cap end the show with that. I mean, I know it's a beloved franchise. I don't really want to criticize it too much. I think that the rest of the showings, maybe they thought this was the biggest because it's kind of established. It's a beloved franchise. And like, I get it, but I also wish there was something else that was just as big that would have been able to fit in that spot. If that makes sense. But yeah, this is cool.
It's hard to
especially-
lose when you announce one of the most beloved games of all time.
What's that?
It's hard to lose. Like it's hard for
Right.
people to be mad at you ending your show with one of the most beloved games of all time.
Exactly. And I think that's kind of a safe bet. But obviously I want something huge for the end. And not that this wasn't huge. This is cool. This is amazing. I recently fully played through The Witcher 3 for the first time ever. I beat it to the end. I did mostly a golden path, so I'm actually looking forward to this coming out and some of the revamps. And it's extensive. It's incredibly extensive. And the fact that it's going to be free to the people that have it is fantastic. Because I would have gladly paid $30 or $40. So, prior to Cyberpunk, CD Projekt Red had a ton of goodwill, and I could see them doing something like this very easily. And I don't want to say that their generosity stops because of Cyberpunk, but yeah, I'm really glad to see that they did this and they're continuing to win back some goodwill for the shortcomings that they had in the past. And obviously Cyberpunk being completely turned around. But yeah, the list of improvements is extensive, and I'm sure there's even stuff that we're not aware of yet that are, changed about the game as well. So I'm really interested to see the combat differences and the updated visuals, and just how the game changes altogether moving forward, because I want to try and explore that a little bit more. Having done the Golden Path, I feel like I got a lot out of it, what I needed, and I also didn't play the DLCs. Dave's talked many times. I played a couple missions from the DLCs, but I really was just trying to get the mainline experience when I was playing. So I'd be interested to kind of flush that experience out a little bit more, because I just scratched the surface of that game, and it really is one of the giants of all time. So
The Witcher 3 is a game I never played when it came out, and I tried to boot it up twice or 2 different times. The first time, I don't know why I didn't keep playing it. The second time, I spent like probably 4 or 5 hours installing like a bunch of mods that many people told me I should check the game out with, that it made the game so much better. And I was like, all right, cool. So I spent a lot of time doing that, and then I played the game for an equivalent amount of time to how long it took me to set up the mods, and a lot of stuff was like not great, and I was like, I don't know what the base experience is like. So anyway. So now I've decided that when this edition comes out, not the new DLC, because I've got all of The Witcher and 2 DLCs before I get to that DLC, that I'm just going to play it vanilla, the way that they put it out with the remastered, and I'm just going to play through it that way. And I'm probably just going to try to mainline it and do some, random side quests here and there.
yeah.
But my problem with games that big is I get bogged down on the side stuff all the time.
And that's what was hard. I want there to be an in-between for me, and that's hard for me in these games. But if I give you a single piece of advice, it's to pick Triss Marigold, and don't listen to anything else anybody says about it. You pick Triss no matter what, and that's it.
All right.
that's ginger racism right there. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Yen is clearly superior in every way.
Dave likes his women like he likes his coffee. Mean. I don't even know what to.
Hot blocking all over my lap when I'm driving.
You know what I mean.
Next up for me was Warlock Dungeons and Dragons. This game, they did show a lot of gameplay. It was like a 6 or 8 minute gameplay trailer with some CGI, of course, thrown in there, some pre-rendered stuff. Um, it looks really cool. The fact that you can, you have so many different spells and different things going on. This feels to me like a game that I don't know if I want to play it on a controller. Like it looks like a game I would play with a controller, but that I will probably want to play on PC unless the controls are super simple. And I'm sure coming from, the Dungeons and Dragons franchise, they'll be really good. But the game looks really cool. I love the fact how much of it they showed off, even though the game isn't coming out until next year. Right up my alley as far as like action adventure. I think RPG. It's described here as a fantasy action game, but it looks a little bit RPG, and I'm sure if it's a Dungeons and Dragons game, it's going to have some RPG elements to it for sure. So that was the next big thing for me. Why don't we do one more rounds and just like kind of name off two or three that, or if you have two or three, or if you only want to focus on one, that way we're not spending too much time here.
Yeah, I'll just quickly shout out Exodus, continuing to look excellent. I think we got a release date yesterday. Yeah, April 7th, 2027. So, yeah, I'm all in on this game. I think a lot of people are, and the showing we've got of this game so far, I think it's deserving of that. I like how the trailer yesterday really focused on one intriguing character, which was an octopus, who was a mech suit, and his name's Salt. And in that like a 90-second trailer, I already started to care about this octopus as a character. It's not easy to do something like that in a trailer, but they did it. So I don't know. Exodus, I'm waiting for this game to slip up, but everything I've seen so far makes it feel like I'm ready to get hurt again for, Mass Effect Andromeda type stuff. But I think this is my most anticipated game for next year. And I was a little worried it was going to get delayed into late next year, but we've got a release date. So yeah, this is going to be a big one for me.
Brandon.
I'm excited about DeadNet. Just because, the PUBG guys, where were they again? Why am I blanking on this? Anyway, huge in the industry and have continued to like hone and support the game that kind of started the whole battle royale trend to begin with. So I'm excited to see them branch out a little bit with all the experience that they've learned into something that is adjacent. I think that's a really smart move for them. Whether or not it'll land is yet to be seen, but there's a clear wealth of knowledge that they've gained from having one of the most popular series continually after so many years. And I'm excited to see them kind of push the envelope on that and kind of, advance the formula in a different direction. So yeah, I'm, as a first person shooter fan, obviously hyped, but especially because it's from a studio that brought us kind of the inception, the golden standard for the battle royale generally. So and the fact that it's not another battle royale is that much sweeter to me. We have enough in that space, and I'm glad to see that they're not trying to push something new into an already overfilled market.
Isn't PUBG just from the PUBG developer? Like that's their name is PUBG?
Is that what they're called now? I couldn't remember. Weren't they? They were something else.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think Krafton owns them, but I think it's just the PUBG company or something like that.
Is that what it's called now? Okay. I couldn't remember for the life of me, but I am super excited for that. One of the giants, truly one of the giants, and Fortnite and Call of Duty and all, the people we talk about a lot that are big in the industry. As far as the world goes, they might not have the most numbers, but they've had consistent numbers for years and years and years. So, they know what they're doing. Through ups and downs. I'm not saying the studio's had a perfect run through the whole thing, but they've gained a lot of knowledge, having had a successful game for so many years. And to see them kind of do something that's, like I said, similar, but kind of in a different direction is good. I'm excited to see what comes of it.
I've got three to rattle off here. The first is, and these are not all necessarily ones I'm excited about, but just of interest. The Game of Thrones War of Westeros or For Westeros game. I'm very interested to see what this turns into. I don't think they've been hiding the fact that it's going to be also a mobile game, but it kind of shone through a little bit more in this new trailer. And there was only a little bit of gameplay as compared to other stuff. I think the more gameplay they show, the more it'll put certain people off that it's also a mobile game. as long as it's good, I don't care. I can still play it on PC. I don't care if it's made for mobile primarily or complementary. But it does concern me that it won't be as good as it could be. But I like that universe to live in, so that'll be fun. Crazy Taxi, of course, I'm excited about. I'm ready to play it. I love the original games. Used to play them in the arcade. I used to play them on the Dreamcast. One of those games where you just go to a friend's house and you know, as soon as you fail, you just pass the controller. Back when I was a kid, we used to do that a lot. So excited for that to come out. I don't know that I really love. I think I like the idea of it being a multiplayer as well, but we'll find out how that goes, I guess. And then the third thing, again, not something I'm excited about, but Notice Fall or Notice Fall. It is by Hoyoverse, which we mentioned. It appears to be like a Souls-like type game, which I'm interested in. I've played so many bad Souls-like games that are just like pale comparisons to the original inspiration that I'm not super enthusiastic about it. And I'm also a little worried that it being Hoyoverse, the masters of microtransactions are going to absolutely destroy what this game could be. But it looks cool. Now, with that said, the nice thing is that I know this game is going to, if it does well, it's going to have a lot of content. It's going to continually have updates. They're going to do a good job. Their games are well made. I just don't know if I'm there for the live service, spend all your money in this game or else you can't progress kind of.
The freaking gotcha.
Yeah, the gotcha of it all. So those are the ones for me. Anything else, boys, or do we want to move on to the next topic?
That's good to me.
All right. Rockstar has responded to the GTA 6 leaks. Quote, "This is not how we intended for you to see the game after all this time." This is from PC Gamer. The news cycle this past week has been dominated with GTA 6 leaks, and for good reason. Rockstar Studios has sprung a big one with the self-ordained cyber leak, drumming up attention with waves of public manifesto statements and a little crypto farming on the side. In preparation for its somewhat confusing Netflix exclusive gameplay reveal tomorrow, Rockstar's finally acknowledged the leaks, both confirming that they're real beyond a shadow of a doubt and trying to salvage some hype. "We know that many of you have been waiting to hear from us regarding the events of the past week. It would be an understatement to say that having videos of Grand Theft Auto 6 gameplay leak in this way has been heartbreaking for our team, and this is obviously not how we intended for you to see the game after all this time," et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They go on to apologize, although I'm sure it is someone's fault at the base of it, but like you can't control somebody who really wants to get your stuff and show it to everybody maliciously. I do think it's interesting that they said, like, they're basically saying like, wow, it's almost here and we made it, but you got spoiled. You're getting spoiled now instead. But I don't know. What do you guys think about? They also issued a subpoena to, I think, Microsoft and Discord, or are in the works of issuing that subpoena to get records. I assume for people they are curious about if they've been involved, but I think it was specifically targeting like leak culture or hacker culture, Discord channels, and similar things to that, just to find out if they can figure out where it came from. Which is not great news that they don't seem to have much more leads than that. But hey, maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe they have more and they're keeping it under the hat. Dave, what do you think about this in general?
So I want to kind of revise my stance on this a little bit. We talked about this story last week, obviously, and I think my stance at that point was a little bit more Rockstar will be fine. You know, I was a little bit more puzzled as why someone would decide to do this, because I feel like, you know, whatever you leak, I don't think it's going to make a dent in pre-orders or people canceling or stopping people from pre-ordering or buying the game. Like it's Grand Theft Auto, like it's going to sell 1 billion copies regardless. But evidently I was wrong, because Take-Two's stock price took a massive hit last week, and you know that's enough to get any company's attention in this day and age. And that combined with kind of the message that Rockstar put out there about like they're obviously upset about this, but they're disappointed too. Like this was their big moment, and you know, we think of Rockstar as this celestial being, but there's still people behind this, and they've worked like over a decade to get to this point, and to have, you know, this generational reveal leading up to the, you know, the release this fall, kind of be ruined by someone who, has a vendetta against the company, but also just wants to sell some crypto is really fucked up. So my stance on this is changing. I'm really a little bit more standing behind Rockstar on this. I think, Ben, you and I talked about leaker culture last week and how toxic it's become in lockstep with, toxic internet video game culture, and it just sucks. The saving grace here though is that you're fucked, leakers, because Take-Two getting subpoenas from Discord and Microsoft means that they are coming after you, and whoever did this is I would be worried. I would be really, really worried, wherever you are. But
presuming they're in a country that will care to let them prosecute them. Yeah,
and we can only hope, because this sucks and it's not cool. And it even for us as gamers, like, tomorrow should be an exciting day for us. Like, we're supposed to be able to see the first real footage of something that only happens every decade at this point, the release of a brand new Grand Theft Auto game, and it's kind of been ruined because somebody wanted to leak footage. So, I'm sure tomorrow's reveal will still be really good, but I don't know, those people who just want to ruin stuff for everybody else are the lowest of the low, I think. So I'm glad that Take-Two is coming for them, and they're probably going to have to pay dearly for this. So I know it's weird for me to be this sympathetic with a big organization, a big company that's making billions of dollars hands over fist, but there's still people behind this, and we have to kind of keep that in mind. So
I'm not watching any of it. The leaks, I'm not watching, but I'm not watching any of the presentations or anything like for the Netflix stuff tomorrow, or any more trailers for that matter. Like, I'm going to buy and play Grand Theft Auto 6. I don't need any more trailers. So for me, it's not really made too much of a difference, but I'm sure at some point I'm going to see something on Twitter that I didn't want to see, or hear about something in general and it's not like Grand Theft Auto is not the kind of game that I feel like you can, for me, really ruin the story of, because the majority of that game is not lived within the story to me. I know that it is a big experience and part of the game, but and there is a story that matters there, but the leaks, if I got exposed to the leaks, it probably wouldn't be I'd still play it, but I'm not planning on checking it out. Brandon, Christian says they should have just shadow dropped when the leak happened. Of course, that would have caused a lot of, I don't know if he was serious or not, but that would have caused a lot. I'm sure they have tons of promotion lined up, and of course the Netflix deal. And also the game's not done. They even said in this letter, like, we're still working on it. But anyway, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I do genuinely feel bad for the people that are affected by this. I don't necessarily have that much. I don't have a very big emotional response for the company as a whole. I've watched some of the leaks, not extensively, and I think that I don't want to say they need it, and this is a good thing for them by any chance, especially if stocks are dropping. But the amount of buzz that's even coming around the leaks is insane. I haven't extensively watched them. I've watched short snippets of multiple leaks that just happened to come across my feed. I wasn't seeking them out. And honestly, it got me more excited than ever about the game, to be honest with you. And I feel like a lot of people probably feel that way too. And not that that's the way you want to see it. Obviously, Rockstar wants a very tight control on what is being shown when, until the full product is ready. But yeah, stock prices bad. People's hard work being squashed bad. But in no way am I saying this is a good thing, but I don't think this is gonna, excluding the stock dropping and the company itself having a financial hardship, I don't think this is going to do much for people's willingness to A, be interested in it, or B, their sales drop in any way. Everything that I've seen about it has made me want it even more. I'm going to be honest with you. I know it's not the way that it was intended to be viewed. You're seeing like little snippets of random ass things, maybe stuff that isn't done. But even the stuff that I have seen has been so compelling to an extent that I've not felt about a game when I've seen it in a long time. And so, yeah, it sucks, obviously. This is not the way it was supposed to be. but this happens, especially with something of this caliber. And to be honest with you, it's surprising that it hasn't happened more prior to this point. With the amount of people working on this, the amount of studios across the world, it is genuinely shocking that something like this hasn't happened prior leading up and that it's happened so close. And I guess that's probably a little bit of a salt in the wound for them as well, is that it's been so tight-lipped or relatively, close to the chest for so many years. But yeah, obviously sad. Like I said, I have watched some of them, and if it comes across my feed, I'm not gonna not watch it, and I'm absolutely watching the reveal tomorrow. But yeah, I cannot be more hyped than I am, and because of the type of game it is specifically, nothing excluding the equivalent of someone tweeting that Arthur died, in the lead up to Red Dead Redemption 2 or something.
What?
excluding a spoiler like that, I don't think there is anything, like Ben said, these games, and from what they've even said officially, is how they've done the branching and the free choice and the sandbox and all of the things that literally cannot be in a trailer, they cannot be in a leak. These games are so huge and so rife with possibilities that I don't think it would be possible unless I spent, hundreds of hours watching things for me to feel like I got what I needed out of the game. So this isn't stopping my expectations. This isn't lessening them. I'm more excited than ever, to be honest with you. It sucks that it's at the expense of, profits, that it's at the expense of people's hard work. But boys, the leaks, wouldn't recommend watching them necessarily. But honestly, I'm glad to have seen them. It's fucking cool, man. It's really cool.
I'm so anti-leak that I still won't spoil the endings to games that have come out decades ago, because I know there's someone out there who hasn't experienced them yet. That's nothing about the morality of it. That's just my opinion. Is like, if you can't preserve, or movies too, like the first time my kids, and I know that's all over pop culture and everything, but like when my kids watched Star Wars for the first time, they had no idea the spoilers there. And those are meme to death in pop culture and stuff, but I want them to experience it. Like I never made those references even. And sometimes stuff slips and everything, that's fine, but
it is rampant. You really have to avoid a lot.
Here's the thing. So our buddy Locke always talks about how I log on to Twitter and I see all these spoilers for the thing I'm about to go watch. And I'm like, well, first of all, don't do that. Don't log on to Twitter right before you're going to watch something that might have major spoilers about it. And second of all, I'm also watching that show and I never get those types of things. And I assume it's because I'm not engaging with the algorithm in the way that the algorithm would feed it to me. Especially back in the early days of Marvel, I muted a lot of words on Twitter when there was a new movie coming out and stuff like that, because I didn't want to know what was happening. But I don't even do that anymore. If I see something come across my feed that I don't want to get spoiled on, I don't engage with it, and then I don't see that. As soon as I start engaging with stuff, clicking on it, watching a video trailer or whatever, I see more of it. So I don't know. The last time I got hit with a spoiler, when the whole Hogwarts Legacy controversy was happening with the boycotts and everything that were happening, and I mentioned on a Last Stand Media show that I was really excited for it. Somebody impersonated our buddy Dustin. They created a fake account with his name, except for the I in his name was a little one, and they used his profile picture. And I got a friend request from it, and I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, that's weird, because I have it set so that you can't send me a message if we're not friends. I was like, that's weird. Dustin must have accidentally unfriended me or something. And as soon as I clicked accept, they immediately sent me a message with the ending to Hogwarts Legacy. Now, fortunately, I didn't really care about the story of that game. It wasn't I wasn't super invested in the story of that game. It was more about the world for me.
Right.
But that's how far some people will go. And it's probably just somebody who had a bone to pick with me specifically, not just a random person trying to get clicks on Twitter. But that's crazy stuff.
That's another level of evil.
Greek says, RIP, I was an ass that accidentally spoiled part of Returnal for Ben. Yeah, you did. You're not the only one who's done that to me accidentally.
That's a bad one to spoil too.
Mm-hmm.
The Sony kind of spoiled that too for you by sending you a shit PlayStation 5 too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't spoil the ending. They spoiled the beginning. because I couldn't
Wow.
play it for months. Benji says, for you pages are spoiler city. You got to stick to the people you follow, and that's it. Yeah, that's true, but you can even get caught up there sometimes, depending on how the algorithm feeds you stuff. Even if it's your own people you follow, sometimes it'll still spit you stuff. And Greek says, I literally never go on the For You page. My timeline is perfectly curated. Nice. Boys, should we move on? By the way, Take-Two stock up 3% on the year. So this did hit them. Hopefully not for too long. I'm sure as soon as the game comes out and starts posting profits,
Dude,
they'll be in
I
rich
think-
city.
I think after the reveal tomorrow, that shit's going up. Like,
Yeah. For sure. But okay, this one's kind of big. But we'll try to blaze through these pretty quick here. This is from Xbox directly. Players have spent decades building their Xbox libraries. Some games were purchased on disc, some were purchased digitally. Many span multiple generations of hardware. Our goal is to make it easier for those libraries to move forward with players. Today, we're introducing a feature that brings the benefits of digital to physical disc, giving players more flexibility in how they access and play supported games across the Xbox ecosystem. Insiders can begin testing next week on the 31st. Most Xbox One and Series X disc-based games support this new feature. Players can claim a digital entitlement by inserting a supported disc into an Xbox One or an Xbox Series X console and launch the game. Once the entitlement is claimed, you can experience the benefits of digital, including Xbox Play Anywhere and Xbox Cloud Gaming, where supported, while your physical disc continues to work exactly as it always has. They're starting with a few thousand titles, and they'll continue to add more over time. Brandon, I have a Series S. I don't have a Series X. I only have a few physical games on the Xbox One because I was mostly in the PlayStation ecosystem that generation. But I think I'm going to pull it out and just go ahead and bind those games to my account just in case.
yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, might as well. It's a nice option. And honestly, I feel like it is a bit of an olive branch, and I do appreciate the idea of this. I also have an Xbox One and a Series X, and I think I own one physical game. Literally, I think I own one.
Forza 6 or Forza 5.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, the one Forza I bought the 1 year. But that's it. So
I remember you bought it because we gave you a hard time because you were like, yeah, I signed up for Game Pass. And then I also bought Forza on disc. I was like, okay. Well.
So yeah, I mean, this is dope. Like I said, I think it's a good step to kind of bridge the gap, and I think it's something. As someone who has clearly been an advocate for physical games media for a long time now, I think this is better than nothing, and a strategy that I would love for other companies to adopt, but they probably won't. So yeah, I like this a lot. I don't know that I have much to say other than that. I think it's good for people that are in the ecosystem, and it is something that is a nice convenience and something they definitely did not have to do, and certainly could potentially cut into profits of people wanting to be lazy and buy something on sale so they don't have to pop in the disc anymore. So, yeah, I think this is good. Nothing too nuanced to say about this, really. It's just solid move by Xbox, which is not something I say very often anymore. So
I wish they had it available for 360 titles because I got a bunch of them bad boys.
I agree, Ben. I hope at some point that will be expanded, but I have a feeling it won't. So
I don't think the technology is there because it's something to do with reading on the like some kind of serial number on the disc. I'm pretty sure. Davey, how do you feel about this?
I guess it kind of maybe not solidifies, but certainly suggests that Xbox is following Sony's lead in kind of moving towards an all digital future. I think we kind of theorized when Sony made the announcement that as of 2028 or whatever it's going to be, they would not be making any physical games anymore. That could be an opportunity for Microsoft to announce that Project Helix had some physical component to it. Maybe it still will, but the fact that they're rolling out functionality where you can digitize your physical library kind of suggests that this is a step towards an all digital future for Microsoft, which again shouldn't be a surprise because we see the numbers. People are by and large buying digital games more than physical. So I think it's a nice convenience piece to kind of protect your library. But I was kind of hoping that Microsoft would do something funny and and announce a next gen console that had a disk drive and kind of commit to a physical future, but the evidence to this point suggests otherwise.
I agree. Let's move along. Real quickly, the studio that made Journey, That Game Company, has launched That Game Publisher. This is from gamesindustry.biz.
That's going to be really confusing.
You know, my first video game podcast was called my first podcast I ever had was called That DJ Podcast. And it was about DJing because my buddy and I DJ'd a lot when we were in college, and we also like to follow DJs and everything. And then we decided we didn't want to podcast about DJing anymore because it was kind of weird. And so that's when we started That Gamer Hub and That Gamer Podcast. And then That Game Publisher came out right around the time we were wrapping up, or like started up, or That Game Company came out right around the time we were wrapping up. And we used to get all sorts of emails that were meant for them all the time. It was kind of funny. They weren't like serious ones. It was just like people just looking up the name of a website and typing it in. The studio behind Flow, Flower, Journey, and Sky, Children of the Light, has launched a publishing arm. That Game Publisher is part of an ongoing trend where indie studios with a mega hit behind them branch into publishing or funding to champion other indie titles. Inner Sloth, the studio behind Among Us, launched Outer Sloth in 2024, backing titles like Click Holding and The Horror at High Rook. Phasmophobia developer Kinetic Games launched Kinetic Publishing. Pocket Pair has launched Pocket Pair Publishing. Landfall Games that made Peak has launched the publishing label Evil Landfall. So lots of stuff like that happening. Boys, I'm all for this. I think it's great when people who make amazing games want to help fund other games to be amazing or that already are amazing and need some help. I like it a lot more than just like random rich guy or random rich company decides that maybe they should get into games because they see a business opportunity and doesn't really have the passion or the knowledge. Not that they can't ever work. They certainly can work out. But like I like this a lot more than that there's actually developers and people who know about video games and making great video games and have been successful. Therefore, that's how they got their money backing other titles. I like that a lot more.
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah. Game recognized game.
Mm-hmm.
We talk a lot about Annapurna and we talk a lot about Devolver. I think it's because those are like indie AA publishers who have really kind of made a name for themselves. Like they have a personality. When you see a game is getting published by Devolver or Annapurna, like you kind of have a sense of what that game's going to be like. And I think That Game Company is kind of perfect to develop their own personality from a publishing perspective. And I think about them, you know, you talk about Flow and Flower and Journey, like those are very distinct games artistically. So I'm not saying that they're going to go out and find the next those games because those are very distinct games, but I hope they're able to develop kind of their own identity as a publisher, because I think then you know what you're getting. And I think they already have their own kind of identity from a development perspective, but as a publisher, I hope they can kind of continue to perpetuate that. So it's also a tough time in the industry. So seeing, you know, what I would call a niche publisher, a very successful one, but niche, having the resources to be able to do this it's a good sign because, you know, we're seeing a lot of closures and a lot of IP go dormant. So for something like, you know, That Game Company to bridge into publishing it's good news. You know, we talked about layoffs so much and studio closures. It's nice to talk about something like this. So this is a really cool story and I'm looking forward to seeing what they publish. And I will look at their games like I do Annapurna and Devolver. I'm going to, you know, it's going to stand out a little bit for me. So good for them.
Annapurna has been really quiet, relatively quiet lately. And I mean, part of that has to do with the fact that their entire staff left a couple years ago and I'm sure they've been rebuilding their company. But I am interested to see if it changes really what they're putting out or if they kind of stick to that core ethos.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't a great example.
No, I knew what you meant. It was a good example. I knew exactly what you meant.
And they have diversified like recently. They got into more film and TV and stuff like that. But yeah, you know what I mean.
Brandon, anything to add here or do you want to move on?
Yeah.
Move on. Okay. let's just go ahead and move into what we've been playing. Brandon, it's been a while since you've been here. Been a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to talk about everything. I just wanted to get it in front of my face here. We played How to Fish, a Smash.
I was going to say 2 of the games you're going to talk about, I have also been playing, so I'll chime in here while you're
Cool.
talking.
Yeah, so How to Fish, smash hit. I'm assuming I still haven't looked up who made the game. But seems to potentially be from a smaller team based on the type of game it is. It's a game where you fish with your friends, super goofy graphics, goofy physics. And then when you catch the fish, you beat the shit out of it, and then feed it to a man to make money. And it progressively gets more silly as you move from your fist beating up fish to brass knuckles to knives to handguns to AR-15s and sniper rifles. So absolutely out of nowhere. I saw this game prior to it releasing. I actually had it wish listed when I was browsing around on the Steam store. And it completely hit it out of the park. 1 million copies in 2 days is a lot, even for a $5 game. It's one of those games that's super perfect. You play it through in less than 10 hours with the boys. And if you streamline, it'd probably be even quicker than that. And absolutely worth the $5, worth $15 in my opinion. And so I'm glad to see they have had some great success with that, and it's a lot of fun. Doesn't necessarily reinvent the wheel to a lot of these co-op fun silly games. It's not exactly like anything I've played before, but it has a lot of the same aspects of these games that we really like that are really popular right now, which is just the silliness and the haphazardness of the friend slop genre. And I say that endearingly. So yeah, really, really like this game. We are almost done with it, I believe, and well worth the $5 price tag if you can get some of the boys or anybody together with you to check it out. So,
and it is available. I think you can play it as a single person too. I don't know that it'd be as fun, but you can do it.
Yeah.
Brandon, my favorite part about this game is that when you're trying to kill the fish after you get it on land and you're using a sniper rifle for some reason and you accidentally shoot your friend in the face and they die, and you have to res them by waking them up, slapping them in the face. That's my favorite part.
Pick them up with one arm and literally, it's like a fucking cartoon, slap
like
them around a little bit. Yeah, seriously. So super awesome. Would highly recommend.
To your point about who made the game, it's a company called Dazed Games. It's 2 people from Sweden. They describe themselves as just 2 programmers, and they're relatively new to the industry. This was published by Evil Landfall, which we just discussed in the last story, who is the new publishing arm of Landfall, which created Peak, which definitely knows how to make their friend slop games. But this game definitely blew up from really, really, really great marketing ahead of the game coming out.
Yeah.
And then it's obviously very memeable, and people love games you can play with your friends. It's a tale as old as time.
Yeah. So fantastic. Probably sold as many copies as people played the COD beta. So anyway, Mortal Shell 2 is great. Yeah, I haven't played nearly as much as Ben. Ben has really been laying his teeth into it. But I've enjoyed that quite a bit. I'd say I'm probably like 4 hours in, maybe 5 hours in. I haven't played in a couple days. It has to be a game that I kind of concentrate on. And a lot of the times that I've been playing, I've not really had the largest attention span. So that's been a lot of fun. This game is awesome, especially compared to the first one. I don't want to take anything away from something this studio worked on prior, but a night and day difference from me having tried the other game. They're working with an established formula, but making it their own in some really creative and awesome ways. It runs really well. It's a ton of fun, and a lot of the interesting things that you don't see in other Souls-likes that they've kind of made their own in this work really well. So as a package by itself, I think this game would knock it out of the park, even if a Souls-like game wasn't a thing in this timeline. This is a fantastic game, period. A standout by itself. So yeah, really, really, really enjoying this, Ben. I don't know if you had more to say about it. I'm sure you've talked about it.
Yeah, I've got way more hours than you do in it because I don't have a job right now. So I've had a little extra time to game on top of looking for jobs at the moment. But I am almost completely done with the game. I mean, you can't really be done with this game because you can do New Game Plus. You can go around and find stuff you didn't find. You can do, you can make it nighttime out, and everything gets a little bit harder. And you can go around and fight all the enemies again. They get a little bit more health and a little more. They damage you a little bit more if you want to. And there's some different secrets that you can find at night. You're right about this being a great Souls-like. I am not by any means a Souls aficionado. I have not played all the Dark Souls games. I have not played every Souls game that's come out, but I have played a lot of them, every Souls-like that's come out. And I'll tell you what, I've said this the last couple week or last week, and I'll say it again. And I know that people are saying this. This feels like to me the best Souls adjacent game or Souls-like game that I have played, as compared to many of the other ones. That's not an original From Software game. This game does so much very well. It's not. It is a lot of it is a very blatant ripoff of or inspired by other Souls games, but in an endearing way because it does it very, very well. It's more of a
Like an homage.
homage than it is a ripoff.
Yeah.
And then they add so many other things into the game that is really cool. Like just the fact that there's no stamina meter in this game is awesome to me. The fact that when you level up your character, you push one button to level up all stats at once, and you just level up, and that's it. When it's time to level up, I love that I don't have to get in. And there are other ways you can min max, but when it comes to leveling, I don't have to figure out what places to invest my skill points into. I can focus doing that on weapon modifications or shell modifications or whatever. I'm at the point now where I have cleared every single dungeon. I have cleared every single gate. I have collected almost everything there is to collect in the game. All the shells, everything. I have done everything, and there's a lot required to get to go to face the final boss. If I wanted to, I could go and do that right now. What I'm doing, there's one thing that apparently I found some parts that gave me some clues. There's one thing I'm going to go do to get a different thing that will help me with the final boss. I have not even encountered them yet. And then once I do that, I'll go and fight the final boss, and hopefully I'd like to even maybe finish it tonight or tomorrow if possible. This is a game that I've jumped into night mode a few times, which it's not normally something I would do, is make the game harder for me, but I've enjoyed it so much that I've done that a few times. And this is the one, like, if there weren't so much coming out very quickly here, this is a game where I'm like, oh, I should play New Game Plus. The only time I've ever played a New Game Plus before, I was one trophy away from Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, from getting the platinum, and in order to do it, I had to do New Game Plus or restart the game or something. I can't remember what it was. I think it was New Game Plus, and I played like 10 minutes of it, got the trophy I needed, got the platinum, got out. I've never even considered a New Game Plus for another game because usually when I'm done with it, I'm tired of it. This is not that game. This is a game I just want to keep playing. So I'll probably go and do another run with a completely different build and set of builds and approach it in a different way. But I'm really, really enjoying it. I can't praise it highly enough. The boss that I did see, because I was engaging with this stuff on Twitter, the boss I saw everyone have the most difficulty with, like complaining about it, rage quitting the game over, saying that it had unfair, like unanimously people I was seeing say this, bad hitboxes, everything. I cleared it in 3 attempts with just like no summons. I don't think there's even a summon for this boss. It's a different summon system than in like Elden Ring or something.
Are you gonna let me solo her, guy?
No, because there are other bosses that people are like, this one's a pretty easy one, and I'm like, because I'll usually, if I try something like 6 or 8 times, then I'll go and look up like other people talking about it, not necessarily strats and builds and stuff like that, but just like, am I missing something? Is there? And usually it's just no, I'm bad at it. But people are mostly thinking that bosses I'm having a hard time with are difficult, but this boss, for whatever reason, I cleared it in just a few attempts and just moved right on. It was great. That's an unusual thing for me because usually the reason I quit Souls-like games is I just hit a wall where I'm like, it's not that I can't do this. I just don't want to put the time into it to do it. And this game has encouraged me to keep playing it constantly at every turn. So I can't sing Mortal Shell 2's praises high enough. I got some stuff wrong with it, but it doesn't come anywhere near the good.
Right.
Yeah.
I started back up the Tomb Raider series and I played through the first one completely. That's the only one that I've played of the trilogy prior and beaten. I'm now into Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider. Yeah, these are great games. I'm going to continue to play them. I stopped playing it a week or two ago because I was really frustrated with they came out in like 2015 or something like that. Rise did. And there's a really janky puzzle, and it pissed me off enough, and I spent so long on it that I've actually not booted it up since that night. And it's a completely optional puzzle, which actually frustrates me more because I think if I didn't have an option to do it, I would have just continued to do it until I did it. But the fact that this isn't even something that I need to be doing and it's so broken that I can't do it pissed me off enough that I've not played it in weeks. So I hope to kind of continue to go through that. And I've heard nothing but wonderful things about the rest of the series, including Rise, which I'm really excited to get in, or I'm sorry, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which is the third one that I'm really excited to check out as well at some point. So I'm just going to quick fire some of these. I played Hell Let Loose Vietnam. It's great.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If you like Hell Let Loose, it's awesome. A little bit too clanky for me. I'm not really that invested into war sim games there's a fine line for me with shooters. I like a little bit, and that game seems like a lot sometimes. So I just am kind of fucking around. I'm not getting out of the game what I should be, but I'm having fun, so I don't care. Left 4 Dead 2, I played the entirety of the Left 4 Dead 1 campaign again. In Left 4 Dead 2, and I was planning on starting Left 4 Dead 2 because aside from playing a level here and there in Left 4 Dead 2, I've never played it the full way through. I went back into Deep Rock Galactic through ways of Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. I played about 6 minutes of that game, and after booting it up and hearing all the voice lines and seeing all the characters, I said, you know what? I really don't want to play this game. I just want to play Deep Rock Galactic, not Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. So I sunk probably about 10 hours. My 100 hours or whatever I have, across Xbox and across, most of them are on PlayStation, but I do have some on the Xbox store because I had Game Pass for a while, and now I have some on Steam. So in 3 different ecosystems, I have, a couple 100 hours spread across. So that was a lot of fun. That game still continues to amaze me to this day. The amount of value that game provides is astronomical, even if it's slowed down after years and years, and the expansions have gotten less inspired. It is a treasure trove of fantastic endless gameplay, and would encourage anybody, if they've not already heard us talk about it, which we have ad nauseum. DRG is fantastic. So honestly, that's about it. I have been playing a couple other things here and there, but for sake of time, I know I've not been on much. So those are the highlights. Those are the highlights.
Now, Dave, do we want to park here and chastise Brandon about Deep Rock Galactic Survivor?
It's gonna be a 2-hour
Core
show.
and hasn't even played it yet.
What is it?
Rogue Core.
Dude, honestly, it's just going to make me want to play Deep Rock Galactic, so I'm not even going to bother.
That is such a you variation on the DRG formula. You bought it.
You bought it?
He did. He bought it on stream one day or on the end of the show.
Deep Rock.
Either that or he downloaded it from like your family thing or whatever.
But no, yeah, I own it.
Yeah,
apparently.
See? Hasn't played it yet. But yeah, playing 6 minutes of Survivor. You know what? I think you framed it in a way to try and save yourself,
Yes,
which is
you
like,
said it
oh,
differently
you know
before
what?
the show.
It just made me want to play Deep Rock. But no, you quit on that game.
What he said before the show was, I played 6 minutes of that game, realized I hated it, and it was trash.
Yeah.
It
and
is
decided to-
trash.
He left up. It's not. Oh my God.
Here's the thing. Pretend that game is trash to the majority of people. You love Vampire Survivors. You sang the praises of that game for months. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor is the same style of game, just set in a universe you claim you love, but you wouldn't give it more than 6 minutes of your time.
So why would I play the great value when I can get the premium brand?
Doesn't make any sense.
Why would I pay the
You just sung the praises of Deep Rock Galactic for Carl, Rock and Stone, all that stuff, and you're saying that skin on Vampire Survivors is not good. That doesn't make sense.
By the way, Brandon, you did not buy this game. Rogue Core, you didn't
I
buy.
could have swore I did. It says it doesn't. Oh wait, it does from Steam Family. Okay,
Because we are
yeah.
family and we live in the same house.
We do live in the same house, and Ben's my brother.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, 6 minutes is all I need to know that game is utter complete dog shit, and anybody who thinks otherwise is a fucking troglodyte. So, Anyway, DRG Supremacy, whatever this Survivor ripoff is of this beloved universe. What's the really shitty Star Wars movie? Not all of them, but the other
Solo?
one, the one with Jar Jar Binks. What's that one?
Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace is awesome.
Deep Rock Survivor is Phantom Menace.
Thank you. I agree.
And I'm saying that in a way that no, Deep Rock Survivor is just Jar Jar Binks only, actually.
In all seriousness, though, Brandon, you should definitely give Rocore a shot. It's deep rock with a little bit less mining, and it's harder and faster. And that's when I think
Yeah.
of hard and fast, I think about you, buddy.
Yeah, it was all right, I guess. I don't know.
But you haven't tried Rocore yet.
Road Core, yeah.
Yeah.
I might give that a try.
You should.
But definitely not that Survivors game.
Davey, I want to mention one more thing. I did hop into the Modern Warfare 4 closed beta last weekend. I only got to play this for a couple of hours, but I'll tell you what, it feels, just the multiplayer, feels dramatically different. What are you giving me that look for?
I'm waiting for you to sell the game to Brandon.
Oh, that's
No,
not gonna
dude.
happen.
I
Oh, no.
literally, you cannot make me. And I'm making I'm fanning my nose because this reeks of shills. This reeks of shills in this podcast right
Man,
now.
can
All
you-
of you
can you
shills.
finish? I don't think he's shilling, it sounds like.
It feels dramatically different than last year's or the last few. To be honest with you, it feels a lot more like Modern Warfare 2. It doesn't even feel like Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 3 kind of still sucked, in my opinion. Modern Warfare 2, the reboot, like 2021, 2022, whatever that was, much more grounded. The biggest problem I have, which wasn't a problem in the beta, but that some of the guns, you have to level them up to like level 70, 80 to unlock attachments. And you know what? A few years ago, when we were getting up into the 40s, I was like, oh, this is too much. Double that, and I'm irritated. Because like, if I've been playing a game for hundreds of hours and used this gun for a lot of that time, I shouldn't have to be like, I shouldn't be level 50 and be like, I don't have, I can't do that attachment because I don't, whatever. It's just ridiculous to me that I heard somebody else say this too. The camos in that game are supposed to be the time sink. If you really want to put time into a gun and keep grinding on it, it should be the camos. It should not be the actual functionality of the gun. But that's just an irritation on my part. They can, it's a game design thing that I don't necessarily agree with, but maybe it'll keep some stickiness to it, is what they're thinking. I don't know. I have a lot of hope. It's still Call of Duty, but I think it can be good. What I'm most excited for is the what's it called? DMZ.
Oh,
Nope, for DMZ. I have more hope for DMZ. I don't really care about Warzone as much, but DMZ I think might be really good. I'm hoping for that at least. So I don't know. We'll see. I didn't get to fully explore it. I plan on checking it out at least for a couple hours again this weekend for the open beta and checking out the different modes that they're adding. They did add a 10v10 gunfight, which I played a few rounds of, and it was really cool. Because there's so many people, it makes it really cool. And then they had another one that's like maybe they've had this in past ones. I haven't played it. I forget what it was called, but it was like you run around with a backpack full of money, and every time you kill somebody, they drop their money, and you pick it up, and you just have to have the most money by the end of the round. Your team does. So it was cool. I'm still not like totally sold on it because the game I'm sure it's gonna be good. I don't know that I'm gonna play a ton of it after it comes out because I don't think most of my friends are. But I do think that it's legitimately. I only played a few hours of last year's for the beta and everything, and it feels so much better than last year's just by playing it for a couple hours. So there you go, Dave.
we're so back, Brandon. You're so back. It's on Switch too. Is
I'm
that
just
not reason enough for you to get it?
I'm just waiting for this conversation to end. Oh my god. Well, it's been fun, guys. This has been the Handsome Phantom podcast. I am Brandon.
It's time for Dave to tell us what he's been playing.
Okay, sorry.
I tried Blueprints this week. And I was like vaguely familiar with this game, but I felt really dumb when I realized, or I like the play on words of blueprints. dawned on me. But this is a really cool game. That is unfortunately ruined by the Andrew Tate of video game mechanics, which is rogueliteness. I really like the blueprint approach where, like, you know, you have to really learn all of the different rooms and how they interact, and like the value in burning bad rooms early so that you don't get them in your pool later in the run, is really cool. I love like coming across puzzles and stuff randomly, and you know, trying to figure those out. And it was just a really interesting take on puzzle games. And it's been years since I've really sunk my teeth into a puzzle game. When we used to review games on Hands of Phantom, I was like the puzzle guy for some reason. So I really kind of developed a passion for those games, and I haven't really spent much time with this genre. But yeah, I randomly picked up Blueprints. It was on PS Plus, not Essential, the middle one, Extra. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. But I again, just the like repeating runs roguelite approach to video game design, just kind of, I don't know, the having to start again every single time is just something that does not resonate with me. And I wish they could have taken this idea and like made it into a proper game. And yes, I'm using that term intentionally, proper game, because I don't know. I don't like roguelike starting again every single time you fuck up. And just hoping that the game gives you what you need to get to the end. But from a conceptual standpoint, I thought this was a really, really cool game. And if you're into puzzle games at all, definitely suggest checking this out. And maybe if you can tolerate roguelites a little bit more than I can, then maybe you'll get to the end. But yeah, I'm glad I checked it out. Did either of you guys try Blueprints?
No, I wanted to, and it just passed me by.
Yeah.
Dustin really liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. Aliens Fireteam Elite 2 launched yesterday. This was very anticipated game for me. I've only put a few hours into it to this point, because again, it just came out yesterday. But I'm really, really enjoying my time with this game so far. It's kind of, and I hope nobody from the Aliens Fireteam Elite Reddit is listening to the show, because they will absolutely flame me, but it kind of feels like the perfect sequel, because it doesn't really change a whole lot. It adds in some cool stuff, such as weapon traits, and there's some interesting sort of additional customization mechanics that you can do to change the way that your abilities and weapons behave in missions. But for the most part, it doesn't really change much. And the one big fundamental change is, instead of 3 players, it's 4 players now. And I think it works really, really well. I think just, you know, taking the original game's mission structure and adding in a 4th player would have really been awkward. But I think they did enough to change kind of like the scale of the levels, and just kind of making the maps like feel a little bit more roomy. So it works with 4 players. The enemy AI and the teammate AI, if you're playing with bots, has also been like improved like noticeably in just a few hours that I've played. And I think that was really important to kind of make the game fit around 4 players rather than 3. So yeah, this is a AA game. It's a AA license game. And it, you know, you really have to keep that in mind when you go into it. But it's, as a co-op shooter, it's so satisfying. One of the things I always talk about with this game is how hard the soundtrack hits. And unlike No Law, they absolutely brought in the same composer and composing team for the sequel, because it goes so hard. Like it's the music in this game it's so perfect, especially if you're a fan of the series. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it to this point. Again, only a few hours in, but I can tell that you know, it's going to be a good purchase. It was a little bit weird because You couldn't pre-order this game, and nobody actually knew how much it was going to cost. I think people were kind of guessing it was going to be in that $40 to $50 range. It ended up being 70 US or Canadian dollars, so I think it was like $50 US, which I think is still good. I'm going to play it enough to justify that value. But it was really a weird launch, like not being able to pre-order, not knowing the price, and apparently there was regional pricing where, like, if you were in Scandinavia, you were paying a different price than people in America were paying, with the conversion. So a lot of people are really angry online about the way this game kind of stumbled out of the gate, but I'm feeling really good about my day one purchase to this point, and I'm really looking forward to kind of sinking my teeth into kind of boosting my class. I went with Machinist, who's kind of like the guy with turrets. I was a healer in the first game primarily, so it feels like a brand new experience to me. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. Looking forward to putting in a lot more time this week. And yeah, Alien Fireteam Elite 2 is it's a good time, and I'm really pleased with it so far.
Nice, dude. I'm glad that you are. I saw some negativity surrounding it, but I assume it's like
Yeah, that's why I made that
and,
comment about the
yeah.
Reddit thing. I mean,
Yeah.
there is some issues with, like, there's some audio bugs and animation stuff is like, I saw some weird stuff that I was like, oh yeah, they got to fix that. But in no way did it break my experience. And I'm seeing people on, like, on Reddit talk about these things like it's just the worst, like, crime to mankind, and it's like, guys, this is not that big of a deal. It's going to get patched. So I recognize the issues that people are talking about online, but in my experience,
Yeah,
not really a big deal. So
well, I knew it was much anticipated for you, so I'm happy you're enjoying it.
thanks, man. Thanks, AI Ben.
Yep. That's it for the show.
Fabled almost 2-hour show, bro. Let's go.
I appreciate everybody hanging out and for listening, watching, whatever you did. Thanks for joining the Discord, because we know you're all going to do that after you hear this message. I keep thinking that, but there's many scores of you out there who have not, who download the show every week, apparently. So I don't know if you're dead and your phone's still alive and downloading the show, or if you just don't want to join Discord, but whatever. handsomephantom.com/discord. Also over on Patreon, patreon.com/handsomephantom. We appreciate you being there. Thanks, everybody. Greek says long one, but a good one. Well, Greek, that's what she said.
I've never heard that.
No, neither. Goodbye.